Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about my basic survival guide for incoming surgical interns. Congratulations to everyone who has matched. I just wanted to go over basic tips and philosophy that I wish I had known going into surgical intern year. The overarching philosophy that I've followed and that you might consider following is doing whatever it takes to minimize the pain that you are going to suffer later. Meaning that if there's a task you can do now, do it now, get it over with so that you don't have to waste time later dealing with it when you're even more tired. For example, at the end of the day, after a long day of working, you want to make sure that you're aggressively taking care of all these little tasks so that you can carve out time to rest, to relax, to recover, do things you actually want to do. Get things done ahead of time. And then another thing I want you to consider is that you should consider paying for convenience if it buys you back time. Some other key principles that I recommend you follow is do whatever it takes to stay out of trouble. Keep your head down, keep quiet, follow the rules. You're going to save a lot of time and heartache and trouble if you just build a reputation for reliability. You don't need to be some superstar, just keep your head down, get the job done. It's going to be tough, but just show up every day. Keep showing up day after day. Just do it. Um, you don't have to try to perform like a superstar. You just have to be there, do your job, and then get home. Every day will get easier and better with time. And then you're going to experience setbacks, but instead of seeing these as disastrous failures or anything like that, just remember to keep it as a learning opportunity. Write down what happened, make a plan to address it, improve on it, or prevent it, then move on. Try not to dwell too hard on things. So keep in mind that the fatigue you are about to experience in surgery residency is unlike anything else you've experienced. You are going to be worked to your limit and you're going to feel extra tired because it's physically and emotionally exhausting. So you'll get home and not understand why you're so exhausted. So you need to do everything possible to claw back your own time. It's absolutely precious. So what I recommend you do, again, get ahead of any tasks you can during the day so that it's cleared up for the evening. So that when you're even more tired when you get home, you don't have to force your body to take care of these tasks. It's going to be exponentially harder. Next, take any chance you can during the day to sit down, to rest a little bit. Just conserve your energy. Don't be a martyr and burn yourself out every day going 200%. Keep in mind that it's okay. You can keep hobbies, but most likely you'll only be able to pursue one seriously during residency. If you have a lot of interests, you might be able to sporadically pursue several different directions. But in my experience, if you have a very serious hobby, you can probably only keep one reliably. And then again, you want to pay for convenience. Pay for anything that will claw back time for you. So what I mean by that is get meal delivery, get laundry service, get cleaning services, anything it takes to pay for convenience and buy back time. And then protect your sleep. You will be absolutely shocked at how much your performance suffers with reduced sleep. And you're going to have reduced sleep at a baseline in surgical residency. But at the minimum, I suggest you try to get 5 hours a night if possible. And then just keep in mind that the days are very long, but the years are short. And surgical residency, no matter how long, goes by in the blink of an eye. So I think there's certain things you can do now before you start surgical residency to kind of cushion the blow of the immense change that you're about to deal with. So I think that probably one of the lowest hanging fruit you can deal with is listening to all of the Behind the Knife ABSITE podcast episodes for the year. There's usually about 30 to 40. It covers every major topic of the in-service exam. And throughout it, they hit a lot of high yield points. And it's pretty quick listens. It's about an hour an episode. I think it would behoove you to listen to all of them and also listen to their intern survival guide episodes that they have, which are very high yield and talk about floor management issues. I've linked the ABSITE podcast below. If you have time, you can start doing some of the score or true learn questions if you have access to those question banks, just because by the time ABSITE rolls around, which is the in-service exam each year in January or February, if you have done, 2, 3 questions a day, that will add up and mitigate the amount of questions you have waiting for you closer to the exam. I know some of my colleagues read all of Sabiston's before starting intern year. For me, I think that's a bit overkill. I think what might be worth it is looking at Sabiston's or Cameron's and reading up on the section that pertains to the first rotation you're going on. So, example, if it's pediatric surgery, reading the pediatric section, burns, read the burn section, or vascular, read the vascular section. That might be worth it. And then there's another book that I thought was interesting. It's by no means essential, but it has some pretty interesting tips for every specialty of general surgery. And it's called Schein's Common Sense, and I linked that below. It's just a fun, easy read. It talks about how to interact with patients to look out for patients and also to look out for yourself and your team. And it has a lot of really practical, easy to glean tips. The other things I want to make sure I emphasize to you before you enter intern year is that you should know that you're going to need about 3 or 4 different notebooks that you maintain throughout all of residency. One should be on floor issues. So, for example, you should in that notebook include, what am I going to do if a patient goes into AFib? What is my algorithm for managing that? Am I going to hit them with 2 rounds of metoprolol 5 milligrams or 3 rounds? What is my next option if those fail? You should have a running list of how you handle these post-operative problems. You should have somewhere in your notebook, you should also document individual attending preferences so that you can be extra sharp each time you enter their OR and kind of build on those and learn faster in the OR. How do they like draping? Where do they make their incisions? What is their specific preoperative protocol? These are all things you should kind of quickly learn and write down and never forget. You should have an operative notebook where you detail little things you have learned in each operative case you are in, little pearls that you can refer to constantly. And then you should have a consult notebook, meaning that either in first year or second year, at some point, you're going to be asked to start seeing consults on your own. You should have a running list of what you were consulted for, what the workup was, and what the management was, so that you can always reference this and quickly hit consults and get faster and faster at them, and also build your knowledge base. So some general tips on navigating residency itself and the people in the hierarchy. These are some tips I have gathered after observing my colleagues over the entirety of residency, observing my own interactions with them. And I think these general tips will basically help you have the smoothest residency experience you can. In general, you want to keep in mind that your job is execution. Do what the attendings and seniors ask. Don't be a robot. If you see errors or you have genuine questions, speak up, but be respectful. At the end of the day, you are a trainee. You're there to learn. You will begin to lead as you rise up the ranks. You will have lots of opportunities to hang out with your co-residents, but I think it's important to keep in mind that they are your colleagues first, your friends second. If you're really lucky, you might come away from residency with a lot of friends, but on a day-to-day basis, these are your colleagues. So you need to keep that very clear in your mind. Why I say that is, even though you guys are friends, there will come friction points, meaning so and so is trying to trade schedules, or so and so doesn't agree with this policy while you do. These will be kind of areas of difficulty that at the end of the day you have to handle as colleagues first. The patients come first. You have to make sure there's coverage. You have to make sure that everything is being done professionally and above board. And sometimes that will be kind of made more difficult if you guys are friends. Um, Third, never lie. Um, if you get caught in a lie, whether it be patient care or some sort of program policy, the consequences are much larger than if you had been honest from the get-go. Do not lie. You do not want to have the reputation of someone who is unreliable and not honest. Your reputation will protect you immensely and open doors and kind of put out fires ahead of time for you. So your reputation needs to be protected at all costs. Next, you need to remember that you are a resident, you are a trainee surgeon, and that you are there to be teachable. So interns who are disrespectful to other interns or particularly to their senior residents immediately become a red flag and they develop a reputation fast. Senior residents talk amongst each other pretty extensively and will share if they had frustrations with a particular resident. And then sometimes this will trickle up to the attendings. So, you don't want to be the intern who is kind of the hothead and talks back to all the senior residents. You quickly develop a bad reputation. You're there to be teachable. Be humble, listen, realize that humility is not a weakness. You're there to learn. You're there to soak up everything you can. Questions are very reasonable, but don't be disrespectful when you do it. And this applies especially when interacting with attendings and attendings of other services too. Remember that related to this, respect flows both ways. You need to be polite and professional to patients, colleagues, and staff and medical students. I have personally witnessed medical students leaving public reviews on residents who later became attendings that are very negative. And they write things like, oh, this during residency, I'm sorry, during medical school, this resident was my supervising so and so. They were incredibly unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. So your reputation and, being respectful to everyone and professional can only protect you. And then in general, I advise staying under the radar, keeping your head down, just get the work done, be reliable, show up to work, go home. Don't go crazy trying to go 200% every day. Just get the work done, do your job, be competent, go home. So, this slide is particularly important. I urge you before stepping into your new hospital on day one of surgery internship, I urge you to know all of these things in red, cold. So, in my opinion, you should know how to do an instrument tie, one hand tie, two hand tie, subcuticular running suture, port site closures, meaning subcuticular buried stitches with a buried knot, and JP drain ties cold. You should really be comfortable with these and know how to do them cold before you enter intern year. Um, I have taught many interns how to do these things. It's not a problem. There's no negative connotation, but I think if you can know these skills cold, walking in, you'll be ahead of the curve and be very impressive um, in your first early days. The other things that I urge you to become familiar with, because you will likely be asked to help another resident as more senior resident with these, and then eventually you will be asked to do them on your own. I urge you to review how to do central lines, arterial lines, chest tubes. As an intern, you will not do these on your own, most likely, but towards the end of the year, you might be asked to do these on your own under supervision. And I've included some really helpful videos that I used as a junior resident from behind the knife that I thought really nicely taught how to do these things. So, um, residency is going to take a brutal toll on your health. So, I urge you from intern year, do whatever it takes to protect your health. And what I would recommend is a couple of things below. I've also included links to things that are easily found on Amazon or things like that. You need a good pair of hospital shoes, whether it be On Clouds, Hoka's, or Danskos, Crocs, whatever you find is most comfortable and reliable. You need to have a comfortable pair of shoes, or you might consider keeping a pair to get dirty in the hospital and then changing into sneakers before you go home. But keep in mind, you are gonna be on your toes on these shoes 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. So it needs to be a pair of shoes you really like. Um, I included a link to Dansko's and OnClouds and Hoka's below. I do want to give you a word of caution with the Dansko's. They're great in the OR. They have a lot of heel support. Uh, they have very good heel arch support, but the inseam is very tight. So I actually ended up having to use some trauma shears to cut the sides of it to make the inseam more flexible. So it might not be your cup of tea. In terms of nutrition, it's very easy to get dehydrated in residency because you are constantly working for 12 to 14 hours a day. You don't really have time to drink much water. So you need to make a point of drinking 1 to 2 liters a day to prevent any other like problems later on. We have a running joke that all the residents have a low grade AKI, which shows you how much drinking water is important and staying hydrated. Nutrition is critical. You need to make sure that you're getting fruits and vegetables every day. Bring healthy snacks, and make sure you're getting enough fiber every day. Keep in mind, colorectal cancer is on the rise in young people right now. It's the number one cause of cancer in adults under 50 in the U.S. currently. So get your fiber, 38 grams a day for men, a little bit less for women per day. And then you want to make sure you work out. You're probably only going to have time for 1 time a week. But if you can get in 2 times or even more by squeezing in like 15-minute workouts a night, this will keep your mood up, stave away depression, keep you sharp on the floor and in the OR. You'll notice that your reflexes are faster because you've been training like an athlete, and it's just better for you. It's very easy to put on weight in residency because you're under so much stress and you're sleep deprived. So getting those workouts in early and making it a habit will really help you. In terms of money, it's going to be tight. I warn you. No resident is being paid a really crazy handsome sum. You're being paid a livable wage, so money will be tight. You won't have much extra money for luxury purchases or comfort purchases. So keep a budget, be on top of it. It will be tighter than you anticipate. Uh, get get little things like step three, um, FES, FLS, Fuse. Get all of those exams out of the way as soon as you can. Particularly with step three, I would not let yourself take it later than third year, just because it becomes more and more painful the longer you push it off. Some programs might not even let you wait that long. And then the other thing I suggest is you find your local provider that you like early. So, meaning your barber, your dentist, your PCP. Find the ones that you trust and like near you so that you never really have to search around when the time comes when you need them. And that also goes to car maintenance too. You should have a local car shop that you know is your place to go if you need anything. And then in terms of bags, in my experience, having a regular backpack is faster and more convenient, hands down, than a sling bag or messenger bag, even though the sling bag, messenger bags are more stylish slash mature looking. Um, it always just ended up being that the backpack was just too much more convenient, so I stuck with that. So these are some services or items that I wish I had gotten from day one. I hope that, by telling you this now, you can kind of anticipate what you're going to need ahead of time and keep in your bag. So to always have in your backpack in case of emergency, toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash, deodorant, and lotion, and lip balm. Have those in one of your side pockets at all times. You may, if you're unlucky, have to do a surprise 24, or you may have to stay late in the hospital. These are things that make it a little bit easier and more bearable. Have those in your backpack at all times. Have an extra phone charger. And then, in general, if your program was like mine, we had paper lists on us at all time. You want to have the thinnest pen possible, so you can write and have lots of space on the list. So you want 0.38 pens. I've linked the ones that I personally used and liked, and can attest to their reliability. zero point 0.5 is okay too. 0.38 is golden. And then have some extra snacks like protein bars, trail mix, and then always carry with you Motrin or Tylenol. The further along you go in residency, the more you'll notice that you get kind of random aches or headaches, and you just don't have the time to kind of push it out. So just take a low dose Motrin, deal with it, and then move on. Or one of your colleagues will be in that boat. For your home, I suggest getting a sunrise alarm clock, just because you're going to be so tired and your circadian rhythm will be completely obliterated as you go from night shifts or take call and back to the daytime. I've linked a few of those that worked for me. You want to get an automatic coffee maker if coffee is your thing, and have it auto set to the morning to start brewing before you get up for work. I suggest you consider paying for a cleaning service so that you don't spend time on your day off cleaning your apartment or your house. Consider paying for a monthly cleaning service that so long as you trust them, because you have to make sure that um, that you don't have any sort of sensitive material at home and that you're disposing of them properly, and that's on you. Um, and then, other services to consider that can buy you back time: Instacart, Amazon, Whole Foods delivery, meal prep if that's your thing on your day off. And then make sure you have a laundry service if you're interested, one that delivers. So, for example, we need our white coats for grand rounds. I get my white coats cleaned, pressed, and starched and delivered to me each week, so that I don't need to worry about ironing them myself or washing them myself, and they look professionally done all the time. Remember that appearance really matters, and it goes towards protecting your reputation. So invest in your appearance and looking professional. If you live in a cold climate, I suggest you really invest in getting covered parking. Eliminate wasting time in the morning shoveling out snow if you can. Remember that the overarching principle here is every dollar you spend on convenience um, saves you hours at night when you're even more exhausted. Um, Claw back as much time as you can. It's not a matter of being lazy or not being frugal. It's about clawing back as much time as you can. You are paying for your time. And just some parting comments. Remember that, again, the days are long, but the years are short. You will be done in the blink of an eye. You'll be surprised at how fast it goes because you're working so hard every day. Nobody expects you to know everything as a fresh intern. Be humble, be professional, be teachable. These are the safest things to kind of protect you through the year. If something goes wrong, don't dwell on it for too long. Don't be too down. Reflect, write it down, make a plan to prevent it or improve upon it. Then let it go. It's a golden learning opportunity that you need to take advantage of. And then finally, it's going to be tough, but just show up every day. Keep showing up every day. Don't give up. You will get faster. You will get better. Just keep going. Good luck to everyone, and congrats to everyone who matched.